Welcome again to the second video in this series of video reviews. There's a giant pad of paper next to me, so I'm just gonna... This video is going to be about greetings and introductions, some basic vocab and some basic kind of conversation pieces that it's really useful to know. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, you can say all sorts of stuff in Spanish, but do you know how to say hello? Do you know how to ask for someone's name? So some basic, courteous expressions. But we'll start off with our greetings in our goodbyes. All right. So a good first starter, of course, is the word hola. Hola simply means hello. There's absolutely no time in which this is not appropriate. The next, buenos dias, which means good morning. Once again, buenos dias. The next, buenas tardes, which is good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches, which is good evening or good night. Actually, buenas tardes more works for good evening. So, like, up until maybe like 9 o'clock or so, when it gets dark outside during the summertime, or perhaps even earlier, the evening is usually buenas tardes, good evening. Buenas noches, good night. And then sometimes for those situations which are a little bit more urgent, or for those situations which are a little more informal, you could simply say oye, which is like saying hey. So I might go up to my friend and say oye amigo, which hey friend. Okay, so as far as goodbyes, despedidas, we have adios, which is a perfect goodbye, simply goodbye. Hasta luego, which is see you later. The word hasta is more like saying until, so until later, well, goodbye. So hasta luego, see you later. Hasta mañana, which is like saying see you tomorrow or see you in the morning. The word mañana is like tomorrow or the morning. So hasta mañana, until the morning. This very simple phrase, nos vemos, which is like saying see ya, which we'll see each other later. So nos vemos, nos vemos. You often hear that S dropped off, especially if you go to South America. Nos vemos, nos vemos. And then finally the word ciao. The word ciao is like saying bye, and in some countries, I know especially Chile, you have the word ciao and then the word adios. So the word ciao is like saying goodbye, but not forever. But the word adios is like goodbye. You'll never see each other again. So as far as some simple questions of courtesy, the first, if you see someone that you know, the first thing you might ask is ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás is like saying how are you? However, if you know this person and they're a little... person is a little older than you, or a person that you want to show some respect to, you'll probably say ¿Cómo está? Or you could finish that up by saying ¿Cómo está usted? Now, the word usted is a little bit different than the word tú. They both mean you. So if I say ¿Cómo estás tú? Versus ¿Cómo está usted? We're saying how are you? But the word usted is used for someone with whom you want to show a little more respect to. So, ¿Cómo está usted? To a person like an adult or a teacher or a police officer or someone. And then, ¿Cómo estás? To your friends or just someone who's the same age as you. Another more informal way is saying ¿Qué tal? Which is like saying, how's it going? How are you? The words ¿Cómo va? Once again, how's it going? And you can even say ¿Cómo andas? ¿Cómo andas? Which is like literally, how are you walking? But you can say, how's it going? So they all mean the same thing, like how are you doing? And the answers for those, and just simple answers, of course there are a whole just infinite spectrum of emotions a person could be feeling, but the more common answers are bien, mal, or así así. And sometimes if you're feeling so-so, which is what así así means, you could also say más o menos, just okay, more or less. Más o menos bien, more or less okay. So, bien, or you could even say muy bien, which is very good, mal, which is bad, or muy mal, which is very bad, or así así, which is like so-so, or estoy más o menos, I'm feeling more or less okay. So meeting someone for the first time, you might ask the question, what's your name? So the question, what's your name, is ¿Cómo te llamas? Once again, this is a person who's probably the same age as you. If you met someone who was a little older than you, or was a person that you wanted to show a little more respect to, like say your new boss, or your new teacher, or your new principal, you might say, ¿Cómo se llama usted? So let's try this one more time. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo se llama usted? Someone asks you your name, the best response would be to say your name, right? So the words me llamo is like saying my name is, or I call myself. So some people tend to put this phrase like, I would say, me llamo Señor Lobelo. My name is Mr. Lobelo. But some people like to put that. Me llamo es Juan. The word es is not necessary there. In fact, it's an error. So you don't want to put the word es in the sentence. So, me llamo Juan. My name is John. Me llamo Señor Lobelo. My name is Mr. Lobelo. And that's the answer. And that's the answer to ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Señor Lobelo. Alright, so you meet someone for the first time, and you want to be polite. So there's several phrases you could say. You want to say, it's nice to meet you. You could say, mucho gusto, which is just saying, it's nice to meet you. Also, you meet someone for the first time, you could say, es un placer. It's a pleasure. Okay. It's a pleasure to meet you. So, mucho gusto, es un placer. So if the person says it's nice to meet you, so you meet the person, and the person says to you, mucho gusto, nice to meet you, it would be very polite for you to say back to them, igualmente, which is like saying, same to you. So once again, mucho gusto, igualmente. Again, if someone says to you, es un placer, it's a pleasure to meet you, it's very polite for you to say back something like this, el placer es mío, the pleasure is mine. El placer es mío. All right. Finally, if you were introducing someone to somebody else, like you knew this person, you knew both parties, but person A and person B don't know each other, you could say several things to introduce that person. You could say to your friend, te quiero presentar a, and then say the person's name. So I would like to introduce you to so-and-so. So say, for instance, we have a friend named Mary and we have a friend named Bob, right? So I would say to Mary, Mary, te quiero presentar a Bob. Or I could even go so far as to say, te quiero presentar a mi amigo Bob. I would like to introduce you to my friend Bob. A simpler way of saying this, which is neither one is more formal than the other, would simply be saying, te presento a, which is like saying, hey, this is whoever. So once again, Mary's here, Bob's here. Mary, te presento a Bob. Or, te presento a mi amigo Bob. And that's that. Let's see how this sounds in a conversation.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Sam. ¿Y tú?
Me llamo Thomas. Mucho gusto.
Hola, Leighton. Buenas tardes, Shelby. Leighton, te quiero presentar a mi amigo Hayden.
Hayden, es un placer.
El placer es mío.